So we've got now roughly 20 minutes, and Eva and Sotiris from Greece will present us the work they've done with the stakeholders engagement. And then after that, we will have a panel discussion. So we've set up some chairs there, and we'll ask the panelists to come here, and then we can have a discussion of what we've heard today. So I'm just leaving you to talk now.
So, bonjour à tous. Nous sommes en Bruxelles, so I speak in French now, just to wake you up. And we are the last presentation about the stakeholders' perceptions, how they perceive the TechCare experience. We are going to do this together with Sotiris. And first of all, sorry. Yes. So we are coming from the Hellenic Agricultural Organization from Greece and the Veterinary Research Institute. We are the partners from Greece. Our organization is functioning, let's say something about this for those who are not familiar with where we are and where we are working. So this is an organization that is functioning under the auspices of the Ministry of Agricultural Development and Food. And we have research institutes in all over the country, and we cover also education of farmers and also the certification of agricultural products, like INRAE in France, you can see. We are 4 people from our team today here. I'm very much grateful for Mrs. Haritini Magana, who is in our central. Can you stand up, Haritini? Thank you so much. Haritini is coming from Athens, from our central administrative department. She is the person who is helping us in all over the project implementation by her advices, consultation, by the work she is doing. So thank you very much, Haritini. We have our Greek national facilitator, Michalis Kakanis. We are very grateful for the contributions of Michalis. You all know him now, I think. Sotiris and myself, we are here now, but we have also a team behind, waiting for us to give them some information about how this conference went. So, today I have to say some words because it's the day we close we have the final conference. So for me, this is an important day. It's like a milestone. It's a project that we really liked. We had an excellent coordination. Claire, we thank you so much again and again. We have been, I don't know where you are at the moment. Okay, we acknowledge her excellent coordination. So I feel a little bit very happy to meet you here, of course, but I also feel somehow sad because the project will be finished in a while. So to make it better, I would like to think that this consortium that came over difficulties and tasks and activities could continue on with a new project coordinated by our excellent coordinator, Mrs. Claire Morgan-Davis. Okay. So, starting from this and from the Veterinary Research Institute, I am also very happy to meet here the policy officer for the European Reference Center for the Welfare of Animals, of Ruminants and Equines, Esther Alan-Spons, who honored this meeting today. So thank you very much, Esther, for coming here. Because we are partners in this European Reference Center for the Welfare of Ruminants and Equines. So we are going to say something about the stakeholders You know, it has been mentioned several times this morning that this project is based on the multi-actor approach. So we have contributions and very valuable contributions, decisions made by the stakeholders. And this is the activities about stakeholders also have relationships with all work packages 2, work package 3, other work packages dealing with the pilot farms with large-scale studies or with business models. Also, our activities here feed the management and the dissemination activities of the project. So, what is happening is that in this activity, all interactions exist between all activities of the project, and also all partners are involved. So we are all involved, which is great. Also, is difficult to manage. But who are the stakeholders of this project, of TechCare project? First of all, farmers are the stakeholders, the target group, our target group, the farmers of small ruminant in all partner countries. But we also have consumers. We also have the retailers for sheep and goat meat and sheep and goat milk. We have the transport companies and all people involved in transport activity of the live animals by sea or by road, etc. The scientists, the veterinarians or other scientists. We have the policymakers, a lot of people. And if we follow the motto of the European Commission, we are all responsible, so all stakeholders, all people is involved. Okay, so we have a big variety of stakeholders, professionals, and other people. All are involved and all are considered as our stakeholders of the TechCare project. Why we needed this co-design approach? Because we need to identify all relevant actors. Sorry, again. And train to the facilitators to engage stakeholders in continuous interaction and feedback. And we need to explore attitudes, behavior dynamics, and perceptions of all stakeholders of the TechCare project. We need this co-design approach together with the stakeholders because those animals are not the same, they don't belong to the same species. We say small ruminants, but they are not the same species. Sheep are different from goats because they have different species with different behavioral and physiological needs. So also we have different production. I don't know why it is running, this one. Okay, also we have different production systems. We have animals that are oriented to milk production or other animals oriented to the meat production. We have different production systems, pasture-based or not pasture-based, inside the stables, the sheds, etc. So we have different types of production systems that makes our work a little bit difficult. We have to consider those differences. So there is no one solution that could fit to every case. So we needed this co-design approach, and we adopted it from the very, very beginning when we prepared the proposal, TechCare. How we engaged the stakeholders throughout the project implementation. We had different channels to communicate and to interact with them. We have on personal interviews. We also have the mapping that has been done for them, for stakeholders. We have an advisory board and many other things, but the most important tool, I can say, to conduct and interchange opinions and gain the perceptions of the stakeholders was the national workshops. Sotiris will talk about this later on. So we have also the surveys that have been undertaking throughout the project, presentations and publications, open days, road shows, the large-scale studies, and a lot of tools and channels to communicate and interact with our stakeholders. So I told you that the national workshops are the main activity throughout those activities for us. And for this reason, Sotiris will talk about this in a minute. Huh?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Hello from my side as well. So, as Eva mentioned, 8 national workshop was was supposed to take place in this project. Until now, we have 7 of them, and the 8th is going to take place in the next weeks. And it was a co-design approach, meaning that we wanted to hear the opinion of the stakeholders while we were developing the different outcomes of the project, like the PLF tools, the algorithms, the business models, the welfare indicators, and everything. During the project, we went back to the stakeholders and we asked their opinion, and we took their opinion into consideration when taking the next steps. And this is something that it is very clear in this slide here. This is an overview of the national workshops that we performed. The first one was on the priorities on the welfare issues of small ruminants farming systems. The second, at the second national workshop, we got their opinion on different technologies and PLF tools that could be used potentially in small ruminants farming systems. The third one was organized in order to hear their opinion about how they would like alerts and algorithms and early warning systems to be designed. And then these were done at the first 2 years of the project. I would like to mention here something that is really important, that we had also with us during the first 2 years COVID. And so this was something that made difficult for us to interact with the stakeholders, but thanks to all the national facilitators of all the 9 countries, I think we managed to do a great job. And afterwards, after a small interruption, we went to the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, where we already had some results from the project, and we could ask the stakeholders what was their opinion about the outcomes of the pilot and the prototypes, trials. Then we asked their opinion on the different business models that we presented to them in order to take their aspects, their point of view into consideration. And the last 2 was on the training materials that were developed during the project and the PLF technologies that were used in the large-scale studies. So, moving on, this is something to mention, that in order to have results that would be more or less similar in the different countries, we had a specific methodology. We had the national facilitators in each country. We prepared before each national workshop a common outline and the material in English, which was then taken up and translated by the national facilitators. And then we had the meetings either online, hybrid, or in person. And this is an outline of a typical national workshop, where at first we had some questionnaires from the stakeholders in order to record their perspective on PLF tools. Then we had a presentation of the project and its progress. Then we had the presentation, slides, or discussion on the main objective of each national workshop, followed by some questionnaires and the final evaluation of the national workshop. So I'm not going to pay a lot of time on the results, just some key points from this national workshop. The first has taken place in early spring of 2021, more than 4 years ago. We had 260 stakeholders from 9 countries. And as we said, we prioritize the welfare issues in different sheep and goat farming systems. And this is the table that summarizes all the results. These are the first 3 welfare issues according to the different countries and the different farming systems. More details were given this morning from Kathy. The second series of national workshop took place in autumn of 2021. And here we spoke about all the potential PLF tools that could be used in small ruminant farming systems. This was also mentioned this morning by Kathy. And they expressed their opinion about which PLF tools would be more useful to them. We also had an evaluation list, and again, based on the main welfare issues, by meaning we, not ourselves, but with the stakeholders as well, we identified the different PLF tools that could be used in the different countries and then different farming systems. And you can see that from the beginning there are some technologies and some PLF tools that seems to be more higher in the opinion. They have higher value for this technology by the stakeholders. Next, the third series of national workshop took place at the end of 2022 with approximately 300 stakeholders. And in this workshop, we asked them about what are the different, what they would like from early warning systems and applications that could be used in the small ruminant farming systems. We also had a small mock-up so as the stakeholder to understand what when we speak about early warning system and application of what may look like. At that point, we didn't have yet all these platforms and applications that are now available. And at this point, the results were more qualitative. So I could say that we have more or less common findings, and these are some things that the stakeholders would like to see and the applications to have when they use it. So they spoke about the ability to see the past values and the trend lines, the ability to add manually their data or the recordings that they do, and the fact that they think that the alerts are useful, but they don't want too complicated or many alerts. They say that they want something that would make their work more easy and not distract them from their main work that needs to be done. And as I said, there was a small interruption waiting for the results from the pilot and the large-scale studies. And then we had the fourth series of a national workshop at the first half of 2024, where we presented the main outcomes of the pilot studies, and we asked for their opinion. What do you think about these results? Do you find them interesting? Which of them would you adopt in your farming systems? What do you believe that may work or will not work? And again, we focused on discussing with them and collecting qualitative feedback. And first of all, we noted down that there was strong enthusiasm between the stakeholders. They find the PLF tools interesting, but there were also quite a lot of concerns. For example, concerning the cost, this is something really important. It was also mentioned in the morning. They don't want to pay for extra technologies. They want it to be user-friendly. And another concern that was raised in multiple workshops was that they wanted something that could be upgradable and also that could be fitted into existing systems or maybe merge different technologies and systems in one system. And also they mentioned that it's important for them to have good support from the companies or the research centers or the technicians that are behind these applications, because they don't feel very confident about how they could use these technologies, at least at the start. We move then to the 5th series of national workshop, and this was a little bit different. We spoke to the stakeholders about the business models, meaning of how these PLF tools could be integrated in a value chain and create money for the companies, for themselves, and things like that. And for specific PLF tools, we presented to them different business models, and we asked their opinion. Again, the results were also qualitative, and something that was discussed quite a lot during this series of national workshops was the use of the data. There were concerns about whether the data can or will be used by third parties, especially from regulatory or administrative. There were more concerned about these things rather than the company themselves. The two main outcomes from this series of national workshop was that there are different business models that they would like to see depending on the PLF tool in question. And again, they mentioned that they would like to have something that could be implemented stepwise. They are not willing to pay a lot of money in fraud. They want to see that something works, that something will help and make their work more easy, and then they would consider of upgrading and adding new modules or new technologies. And last, the 6th and the 7th series of national workshops were organized together in 2 sessions this spring with approximately 120 stakeholders. And in these 2 workshops, we spoke about the training materials that were developed during the project. They evaluated this training material, and also they evaluated the main PLF tools that were used, 4 PLF tools that were used in the large-scale studies, namely the weather station with the THI application, the water trough with the weighting crane, the walk-over-weight crane, and finally the individual milk meters. Concerning the training material, they find it useful. They think that there were different opinions about what was the favorable way of presenting this, presenting the training. And in other countries, they say that technical sheets or simple visual aids is more favorable. In other countries, they spoke about videos that they would find it useful. Maybe I think a blended approach may fit better. And I think it also has to do with the age of the stakeholders, whether they're older or younger, so more familiar with new technologies, videos, and things like that. Concerning the PLF tools, these are some results summarizing their opinion on the 4 tools that we have used. We have asked them 3 main questions. First of all, what they think about the usefulness of these tools, and I think this slide here summarizes the results for the 4 PLF tools. Then we asked them if they have used this tool, if the tool was according to their expectation, and if they haven't used this tool, whether they would consider using this in their farms. And I think we have a good feedback about the PLF tools that were used in the large-scale studies, and it's going to be useful and complementary to the questionnaire that was also given in the context of Work Package 5. Also, as Eva mentioned, stakeholders are not only the farmers and the animal technicians, but they're also the consumers. And so we made a survey on European consumers on the welfare status of small ruminants farming systems. And we asked them to prioritize according to their knowledge. That's something that we need to keep in mind. Where do they think that the animals face welfare issues? Which of these consider more important? And we also had some questions about their behavior as consumers concerning dairy and meat products. So I have a couple of slides. I think I'm okay with the time. Yeah, okay. So, for example, some indicative results. This was the first question, whether the welfare status in sheep and goat value chains should be improved. And in Germany, 100% of people said that yes, it should be improved, whereas the lower was in Israel, where approximately 89% of the people answered that it should be improved. So despite, I didn't mention that the survey has taken place in 13 countries in total. And so we think that we can see here that welfare, that the consumers think overall that the status of the welfare in small ruminant farming should be improved. Then we asked them at which part of the value chain they think that it's most important to improve the welfare. And that's an indicative results from the UK, but more or less the same goes for the other countries as well, that they think that at the end of the value chain, at the abattoir, there are the main welfare issues. Probably that's something, I don't know, this is objective or subjective, maybe only mentioning the word abattoir, it's not something positive. So, however, that was something, a trend that we could see in all countries. They were more concerned about the abattoir than the other parts of the value chain, despite the fact that they spent almost all their life on the farm. And that's the last one. That's something that we chose to show here in this because we think it's interesting. It's the outcomes of a question concerning the behavior as a consumer. And we asked them whether they will be willing to pay more for welfare certified products, either from the dairy or the meat sector. And we could see that the majority of the people, approximately 42%, said that yes, they would pay more, 10% more in the price of a product if it was welfare certified. And if we can also add the other two categories of 20% more and even more than 20%, it's almost 80% of the consumers will be willing to pay more if they were sure that the products that they buy are welfare certified. So we can understand that apart from having concerns on the welfare issue, they are also willing to pay more in order to solve these issues concerning the welfare of the animals. So before closing and giving the floor to Eva to say the last words concerning the stakeholder perception and participation in TechCare project, which was really important, as we all understand, there are some key points. There are some more general. It's something that keep it like what we understood from all this for years of interacting with the stakeholders and reading the reports that you were sending. Maybe it's not very, I don't know if it's objective, but it was the most important according to our understanding, or issues that were more commonly seen during these 4 years. So, first of all, concerning the welfare issues, they were, we can say, rather common between different, it was rather common, but there were some differences between the farming systems and the local conditions. For example, the weather, or whether the farming system was intensive or extensive, and things like that. The stakeholders overall showed a lot of interest on PLF tools and all the novel technologies, but at the same time, they were skeptical about their adoptions. They had second thoughts. They were not very open on adopting them. Their concerns were mainly focused on the practical parts of the PLF tools and the usefulness. So that's something for all the companies and the people that are trying to forward to promote PLF tools in this in the farming section, that the stakeholders and the farmer need to gain. We need to give them confidence that the technology does work and give them measurable results. They need simple applications that they could fit for their needs, and the alerts also should be quite simple. They raised concerns about the use of the data, especially concerning administration and regulatory issues, but probably they are not aware of the value of the data that can be collected from the farms. And also, it's very important, although we speak about novel technologies and PLF tools, the human factor is still very important. They need a technician, an engineer, someone that would make them understand what the PLF tool can do and how it can help them. And finally, we understand that consumers do care about welfare issues, and they're willing to pay for this, if the responses are true, at least. Yeah. So that's a summary of the activities and of the national workshops and the consumer survey. Thank you.
Oops, again. I have problems with this, I don't know. Okay, so another conclusion, another summary, very general, this one. So you can understand that we have, at the moment, we have a huge collection of very important data about how stakeholders, what are the perceptions of the stakeholders towards these PLF tools in small ruminant production. So I can say that except our contract obligations, I would like this data to be exploited, further exploited, and have more things to do with this, because it's really, really very important. I can say also that stakeholders started from 0 point. When we first talked to them, all professionals, all stakeholders, about PLF tools in small ruminant production, they were surprised, really surprised. They laughed, even laughed. But then after the workshops and the work that has been done through the TechCare project, they experienced a lot of information and knowledge exchange. They learn how to exchange information, how they listen to the new technologies, about the new technologies, etc. So now we gained a network that it is ready to learn more, to apply PLF tools in some cases, of course. They were also able to share the practical knowledge they have, because in different countries we have different production systems, as I told before. So they have practical experiences, and they have different problems to share with the other stakeholders. and they developed solutions relevant to the whole EU, as well as specific solutions for different systems, environments, and production purpose existing at various countries. Also, they were able, not only saying, yes, it is a good idea, or I can apply this tool, but they also were able, within the procedure, to express the barriers they have and motivations towards PLF tools, implementation, and animal welfare management. Yeah, this is orange. Oh, okay. It doesn't want me, I don't know. So, no, doesn't want me, that's for sure. Sorry for this. So this is very important for me because stakeholders want us to keep TechCare network functioning, alive. So my proposal here today is to keep it alive at our national level, but also at the European level as TechCare network. It's a big strength for the next project, Claire. So we need, for us, it is a decision. We will keep it alive as much as possible. We keep our equipment, meteorological stations and milk meters, etc. We keep them. We didn't put them out and transfer them to the institution, but we keep them in the large-scale farms so that we continue on with applications, with THI, care, and other applications, and we keep on working with them. So my proposal is to keep at national level, but also at European level, TechCare level, this network alive. This is my message for all of us. We try to publish and disseminate the activities of this project in the EA conference. And we made some publication in some very popular journals in Greece about our activities. We also have had the honor to be rewarded by as the best poster in an app conference. So we keep going on publishing data from this. Currently, we have almost ready a paper on the Greek stakeholders' perceptions about the PLF tools and TechCare project. And we will try to submit it in animals, so probably this month or the next one, the latest. Okay. So, this is final. Thank you to all of you, of course, the TechCare coordinator and partners, the national facilitators who have done amazing work throughout the project, our stakeholders, they are there, they are waiting for us, the advisory board members, again, and this, of course, all of you, and the Greek team. Sotiris, you have been the energy machine of this national workshops project, and so thank you so much, and all of you. Thank you.